Now listen, the title is jarring, I know. I just want you guys to know, I would definitely never lie for a title. But now that I have you here, I can tell you about my awesome discovery of James Gunn's copyright infringement. I'm not lying, please. I'm just not lying. In 2023, a really awesome YouTuber, up-and-coming guy, made a video predicting / writing his own version of Superman. The James Gunn version, obviously. It definitely wasn't me. Not me at all. No, that's not me, trust. That's some other red-haired, this guy's not even redhead, like, he never says that, obviously it's not me.
He has monumental weight on his shoulders.
Nope, not me, nope, never, but, you know, if it was. Okay, you know, so now it's 2026. Supergirl, as literally no one cares about, is coming out this month. Hey guys, editing me here. I know I said some harsh things, but look this up. Supergirl's Office, 4765, not very good. Ant-Man 3's big boy flop. And here we go, yeah, it's just not looking too hot, sorry. So a better way to talk about my favorite comic book movie of the 2020s than to reflect on my past mistakes, which I'm definitely not replicating right now. So 2023, what a time. Superman was back, and then he wasn't, and then he was back again. R.I.P. Cavill, man, really feel for that guy. But James Gunn steps in as the head of DC, and he promises to make his new vision that won't be rebooted again, which, you know, we'll see if that happens. But I was excited. I was excited getting lad. Having watched as much film YouTube as I have, I was like, you know, I can do that, right? Right, guys? So I tried and failed. I got like 200 views, like I said earlier. But we may as well see how much he ripped me off, right? So without further ado,
Superman Legacy has monumental weight on his shoulders.
remember when this movie was supposed to be titled Superman Legacy? Good times. Good times. What a war loss, honestly.
James Gunn has come in and effectively shut down the former DCEU in favor of his own personal direction. This has come as a very divisive topic on Twitter, with the Snyder cult already preying on Gunn's downfall.
Oh man, if only the Snyder cult would give up, our life would be so much better. But to this day, they still hold on, man. Also, I'm going to save us the trouble in the next few minutes. Like, half this video is just me bashing Snyder's vision. No one needs to hear that. We've all heard those videos. It's just not worth it.
Version of Batman and Superman. However, I think Zack Snyder just straight up did not get the two powerhouse characters.
Oh my god, we get it. You don't like Zack Snyder. Like, golly, everyone hates that guy except for a few, I guess. But, like, Jesus, get to the point, pal.
So in this video, I'm going to outline how I would jumpstart a new DC cinematic universe. For simplicity's sake, let's call it the Obiverse.
Oh yeah, I forgot what I titled it. Jesus Christ, like what was I thinking? Obiverse? Like, what does that even mean? God, fuck, oh, Jesus. Yeah, so here basically I yap about how Superman and Batman killing is bad, yada yada, we all know that. Snyder, who I can't say the F word, but you know I want to say it. Yeah, it's just basic, bare bones level criticism. Like, I was stupid back then, what can I say? I don't know.
At their core, Batman and Superman are extremely different characters. They both hold the same value, to never kill, no matter what. Now, that does not mean there will not be scenarios which are out of their hands that lead to casualties, but that is part of the reason that this moral compass is so interesting narratively.
Yo, old me, reread your own title, man. I thought this video was titled My Pitch for Superman, not My Pitch for Batman, Superman, and everyone else. Which is also a video I definitely didn't do. I definitely didn't do a Batman video. Don't look that up. Never happened.
Exploring the struggle that the no-kill rule brings will be at the forefront of the first phase of the Obiverse.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I deserve death for that name. Like, I'm gonna say it multiple times too. I just need to reiterate how stupid that name is. Golly.
Secondly, I think the most important part of this universe is to make each character have their own tone that comes naturally, rather than forcing them all under the same one. This has been a problem in the Snyderverse as well as the MCU.
Dang, bro, you stuttering? Like, holy. But, you know, you spin on the tones, and that seems like to be something they care about, so we can hope for the best, you know? So I'm gonna save some time here. I kind of just yap about some nonsense here, like for the next few minutes about like Batman's tone versus Superman's tone. Not really relevant to comparing how James Gunn stole my ideas.
Like I said before, I want to base a lot of what I do with the skeleton of Superman's character on the MCU's Steve Rogers. Yes, the two are very different characters.
I don't think Gunn ended up doing this in his movie, but like I was kind of spitting here. Like Steve Rogers is a pretty good framework, I would say, still, of what you can do with Superman. He didn't do it, and I think it still works out, but I don't hate this.
This is a much-needed balance with My Superman. He must have a 1980s Christopher Reeves feel to him, but at the same time fit a more mature 2023 audience.
Of all the things I told Gunn he needed to do in this video, I think this is probably the one he gets right the most. David Cornsweet's rocks. He has that like campy feel, but like it doesn't feel too cringe or like out of place. Like my personal favorite scene is when he goes like sees Crypto destroying the fortress and he's like, "What the hey, dude?" or whatever. I don't know. I just really like that. I think the corniness is there, but not too there. It's a really good casting. I think the line delivery is great. Overall, they really captured Superman's characterization without like making him too campy, too close to Christopher Reeve, and like too like jolly, yeah. I don't know, but like yeah, I really like this.
Another aspect of Superman I want to focus on is his dynamic between Clark and Superman, as well as his conflict between his human and alien side.
So I'm going to do a complete 180 here from praising Gunn's movie. As much as I love this movie, they really don't dive into the Clark side that much. Like at the start of the movie, he's there, he's at the Daily Planet, he's talking to Jimmy and all that good stuff. But like, other than that, you don't really see him balancing his life between the two, which sucks because like the little we get with Cornsweet as like Clark, it's really good. I like it a lot. But you really only see it for the first part of the movie, and then you get that scene with him and his dad at the end. Actually, that's awesome. I love that. But like, you don't really see the confliction between the two, and they seem like they wanted to tell a story of him like dealing with his alien side, like, with the video and like realizing what he was actually sent here for, yada yada. But like, they never really get into it. I think it's unrealistically dealt with. Like he kind of just like supposedly gets like forgiven or whatever at the end. I don't like that. I think it's lazy. I think it plays it safe. He really should have had to earn and prove his like loyalty or lack thereof to Krypton. And I hope that's something they kind of pick back up on, because the public really should be like conflicted on Superman at this point. And so I would love that to be a big part of Man of Tomorrow, but that's neither here nor there.
From the start, I want to make it very clear that Clark is appreciative and loving of Earth, but he also feels like he does not belong. It's sort of a self-conscious part of him, always knowing he is pretending to be someone he isn't when he's in Clark mode. This will be the main conflict of Superman 1. He must come to terms with his humanity and accept that, while he is not biologically a human, the Earth is his home and he is a human at heart.
You know, I've been wanting to say this like a while rewatching this video, but like I really just sound like I'm reading off a script, which I was, to be fair, but like I could not have made it more obvious. Like I'm reading so monotone, which I have a monotone voice, but like just like in the AI like 3 adjectives for every point. Like what am I doing, bro? I just needed to say that at some point.
My Superman will be starting off in a similar place to where Gunn has him. We do not need another Superman origin on the big screen, so My Superman 1 will begin with a Superman and Lois-esque montage of Clark's life up to his first day at the Daily Planet.
Yes. Good idea. Let's just like rip off another piece of Superman media and make that the exact way we start a movie. Like that's just so smart. Like why didn't Gunn think of that, honestly? Like, jeez, man. I as much as I love Superman and Lois, we don't need to rip it off in a movie. That was pretty stupid. But hey, watch Superman and Lois if you haven't. It's peak. That scene is peak. But we don't need another version of it. Like, come on.
Instead of Pa Kent dying off screen or immediately, I want Martha and John to be big supporting characters through this whole movie. They will be Clark's rock and moral compass. Very Smallville-esque.
Jimmy. You stole that from me, didn't you, pal? That's exactly how they are in the movie. Well, not really. They're not really big. parts of the movie, if we're being honest. They should have been a bigger part. But I said Pa Kent should have been dead. And guess what happens? He's alive. That's all I'm saying, Jimmy. I'm on to ya.
Clark and Lois will meet and have immediate chemistry, of course. They are the most iconic comic book couple for a reason, so it is very important that they work on the big screen and that both characters are fleshed out. In this video, I'll be focusing on Clark's side of the plot. Know that if I were to sit down and make a more concrete version of the script, Superman and Lois will be the definitive 1A and 1B leads of the movie.
You know, I gotta stop saying my bad, but I wish James kind of took this one to heart. Lois has a lot of screen time, don't get me wrong. They have a lot of chemistry. My hot take is that, and this isn't really a hot take, but Lois doesn't really contribute a whole lot to the actual plot of the movie. Like, they kind of have some drama between each other that gets magically resolved because he's awesome and saves the world, yada yada. Her side of the story of like uncovering the Luthor plot kind of just boils down to Jimmy Olsen having Riz and being able to get like pictures and stuff. Like, she doesn't really do anything. She kind of just like publishes the article. I really hate that about the movie. I think it's the worst part of the movie. And they really could have used more to justify like her part of the whole dynamic, I guess. But the performances, the chemistry between the two were awesome, and I loved that part.
The main villain for Superman 1 is Brainiac, brought to Earth via a signal sent out by Lex Luthor in an attempt to contact foreign life.
So it was at this moment I realized that I may have accidentally predicted Man of Tomorrow instead of Superman 1. Everyone thought it might be Brainiac leading up to it. Like, this is how early on I made this video too. Like, the title was still Legacy, like we said earlier, but I didn't know who the main villain was. I think we knew Lex was cast, but I don't know if we knew he was like the main villain. So Lex is still in my version. So I guess it remains to be seen like how accurate the rest of the plot of this movie is. So it really diverts. And I know you're probably thinking, oh my god, you said James Gunn stole your movie. Yeah, well, the plot twist is, I got you to click on the video, number 1, get wrecked. But the other one is, maybe I predicted Man of Tomorrow by accident, and that's the real movie he stole. If I predicted Man of Tomorrow like 5 years before it came out, I'm him. Like, all I can say is like, I'm him, and I deserve all the subscribers and money in the world. Like, that's all me.
Luthor's motivations in the story are to detect any extraterrestrial threats after witnessing Superman's first ever save. Instead of cheering on the Caped Crusader, Lex is terrified after he witnesses a seemingly human man catch a car before it hits a young boy with his bare hands. From that day on, he wants to either alarm himself of any future alien threats or align himself with them to take advantage of their tech and resources to, in his eyes, protect humanity.
This is another thing that the movie didn't do too well of, in my opinion. Lex Luthor's motivations are really like not talked about or like gone into. He's kind of just like, yo, I hate you. I've been trying to kill you for a while. Like, I'm like that. I'm bald. I'm evil. I think they could have really given more of a like explanation, backstory as to why he hates Superman. Because like, what I'm gather from the movies that he's like jealous, and he sees Superman as someone he can't get to the power level of, I guess. But like, he literally made a black hole. He made like an alternate reality, basically. So this man is very powerful. He has no reason to be jealous, and I think maybe seeing his first interaction with Superman instead of just like picking up in the middle of it would have gone a long way, given him better reasoning. Maybe he has a reason to think he's a threat. Maybe he stumbles upon the message without even trying, and that's why. Something like that to make him like justifiably be against Superman, because as it stands, he's kind of just generic bad guy. As much as I love Nicholas Hoult, it's just not the most well-crafted motivation, in my opinion. But yeah, I did this one better than you, Gunn. I'm sorry. That's a dub for me. I'm gonna save the trouble of the rest of this. Basically, Brainiac's given Superman an ultimatum. He's like, hey, yo, give me Metropolis, bruv. and I'll give you a Kryptonian city. Yeah. And Superman's like, oh, I don't know. And then he like flies over to like his house, and he like looks at a wholesome moment between his parents, and he's like, nah, humanity for the win. And in hindsight, this is really weird morally, because like there's definitely people on that ship. So like, not really sure what I was getting at here, and I said it was like the right choice too. I don't know about all that. This is probably the worst thing I put in here. I'm basically telling aliens to F off. Anyways, yeah. If this happens to Mana tomorrow, James Gunn owes me $2 and a McChicken. No more, no less. That's all I ask.
Type of character and movie the world needs right now. A story about an alien realizing how loving humanity can be and seeing how great of a home the Earth can be. Maybe it can bring the light and optimism out of its audience and make the world a slightly better place. One with truth, justice, and a better tomorrow.
Holy shit, I thought I cooked with that one, didn't I? I know I was sitting there in 2023 typing that up like, oh yeah, you cooked. Also, that message did, we're not going to get into politics, but that is kind of funny seeing today's landscape. But regardless, finally we're done. I made a Superman movie 3 years ago. It was almost nothing like James Gunn's movie. I clickbaited you. But maybe it was like Man of Tomorrow's. So give me like a year, and if I get that McChicken, I'm gonna be a happy man.